Hey, what's up, y'all? Another episode of God Bless America.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Sarcastically, of course. A lot of y'all can't catch that sarcasm. This might be one of my favorite episodes. We finna react to this white guy. I don't even know who he is. His name is Steven Crowder. This is my first time seeing him. He's just another regular white man who has racist talking points. I don't even like calling white people racist. This is their nature. This is what they believe. Two people cannot coexist in a society. When I say two people, I'm talking about blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians being one people trying to live with white people. Somebody would have to be on top, somebody would have to be on bottom. That's what history has shown, and we're seeing it right now. Right now, this guy he goes into this barbershop talking to some black people about black fatigue. White people got black fatigue. And I already watched the video because the video is so long. I have like certain points I want to go to, but we won't be here for 2 or 3 hours. So we're going to go skip to those certain points of the video. There's a lot of points though, because the majority of this video is just him lying, trying to justify why white people should go harm black people. This is all this is about. All this is about that black people are angering white people for being poor and oppressed in a country that forced them to work, forced them to pick cotton. I'm like saying that picking cotton is not even a big thing, what they was going through. Talk about getting your back whooped in right after somebody molested your wife. That's real slavery, chattel slavery. That's what I'm talking about. How dare people who are descendants of people that Ronald Reagan gave drugs to have a little bit of trauma. Anyways, you already know I'm on one, so you know it's going to be a good one. We're finna start the video and we're finna get on his ass. Pause.
Brown then stabs Zarutska several times and walks away.
And that murder taking place at the hands of a black man who was arrested at least 14 times and released largely in the name of racial justice, spurred a reaction from white Americans that, frankly, is unsurprising. And truth be told, for young white Americans, is understandable, and it would be doing America.
Nah, this is their reaction. Their reaction was like, we tired of black people. Black people are the problem in America. He said that action was justified. This whole entire video is about white men trying to say black people have no accountability, which is them having no accountability. You don't watch somebody you harm and say, you know what, stop being sad I harmed you. Have some accountability. It's like and this is what white men have. White men are the people who were grape a woman and they would say, you wore that small skirt, you wanted it. Nah, she was just playing hard to get. White men can't have accountability when they do evil things, and this is what this video is about. So now you have these two white people that he showed died, when I could show one instance of 8 people dying from going to a grocery store, which black people still love the white people. When black people died in a grocery store in that church, no black person said I had white fatigue now. Nobody said that. When the black people was getting hanged, nobody said I got white fatigue now. Martin Luther King Jr., which I disagree with his whole entire movement, watched black people get hosed down, get dog sicked on them, and their fight was to be accepted by white people. They didn't even have white fatigue when the white people was hurting them. And then you miss me with all that shit, dog.
I thought we were, as far as in the country relation. Like, you guys heard the term black fatigue? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys know what that means?
Since the last time you came, that become a thing.
Yeah, like I say, that's just become a recent thing.
And do you know what it means?
I'm not sure.
It's a term that's being used by people in the white community, by and large, again, saying they feel like they've been victimized and they're tired of taking that shit. That was a girl who was dying alone in public, and that was a guy who was let out 14 times.
Was they talking about that Ukrainian refugee that they don't give a damn about? They hate immigrants. They hate refugees. So why does this white girl life matter now? Why? Because now is a time to victimize black people. Let me tell you something. Black fatigue never made sense to me because in one breath, and he just said it out of his mouth. He said, well, black fatigue is basically white people feeling they've been victimized for no reason. However, black people are not to be victims for what happened yesterday. I can't be a victim for what happened yesterday. I can't be a victim of Ronald Reagan putting drugs in neighborhoods. I can't be a victim of redlining. I can't be a victim of my father and my grandfather not getting a GI Bill. Now I gotta go work my ass off for some high mortgage and this horrible interest rates. I can't be a victim now. Are you kidding me? This black man has a mental health issue, kills a white woman. They say it is a race-based crime. Now everybody has black fatigue. Let me tell you something, white people. If it takes one white woman dying to give you black fatigue, what should black people have for watching millions of their family die? What should Hispanics have? Natives of the land have watching their family die by the millions from the hand of your people? I ain't never met those people say they had white fatigue. All I ever met was those people trying so hard to love you. It's insane to me. Insanity.
14 times, including violent crimes, in the name of racial justice, right? He didn't have to post bail. He didn't have to appear back in court. This is not the first time he's assaulted
How do
someone.
we know that was in the interest of racial justice as opposed to just being a
judge said it.
attempt at justice, period?
Yeah.
Like, the legal system has its flaws,
Yeah.
and people have been making complaints about that for decades, right? But that's just, to me, that's a mental health thing more than it's a black and white thing.
Well, I'll tell you why, because white people are saying it now.
Right.
Not just white people are saying, hey, we're in
makes it a bigger thing.
Well, because, white people are 12 times as likely to be killed by.
Wait, he's saying that it's a race thing because white people said it's a race thing? He just said it out of his mouth. He just said it's a race thing because white people said it was a race thing. We're like 5 minutes into the video and we already know this man is a white supremacist. Now, because white people said something, it's a fact. And when he's saying white people saying it, he's not even talking about studies. He's not talking about people doing research. When he's saying was white people saying it, he's saying it because he's saying it. Because he's saying it and he don't know shit. White people talking points are a reflection of themselves. And we're going to go throughout this video. He's going to make a lot of claims that are not true, but it's true for white people. He's going to say it right now.
By a black person the other way around. White people are saying, hey, we're in
makes it a bigger thing.
Well, because
Wait, hold on. I got this in 1.5. Let me change it.
white people are 12 times as likely to be killed by a black person the other way around. I'm just going to.
That is a damn lie. He just lied out his mouth. He just lied out his mouth. I be wishing white people actually have good arguments so I could combat them. So I could actually combat them. But I cannot because all it is a lie. You just have to fact check it. Black people are 3 times more than likely to die by a white person than vice versa. That's a fact. That's a fact. Let's keep going.
Shoot you straight. It's not even close.
Where?
Across the country.
Where? Not in
The United States. I mean, we're not talking about Ghana.
And like,
See, he trying to say, oh, we're not talking about Ghana, United States. You lying. That's why he's saying where, because this is what he does. He's pull up on these black people who don't probably, you could tell they're just regular black people who's minding his business, which is the whole entire point, is that black people are not worried about white people. They're not trying to harm white people. He can pull up on these black people with all his talking points of lies, and they sit here trying to justify it because it's not real. How can you defend something that's a lie?
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, in white communities or in quote unquote so-called white communities,
Across the country, the rate is a black man or person, because most murder is men. There are very few female murders. 12 times more likely to kill a white person the other way around. And then you look at the average amount of times that someone in this country is arrested before they're brought in for killing, charged with murder. Do you know how many times they're arrested on average before they murder? 11 times.
once again, the justice system's got.
That's a damn lie. Most murders, most deaths come from white people, period. And they putting the gun in their mouth. And you know who most people commit murder? It's their first offense. They have no record. I know this for a fact. Those white boys pull up to a church. Dylan Roof shot up all them black people. When the other white boy came in and shot up black people in a supermarket, those people had no prior things wrong with them. White people are going to do heinous acts. And they are upright citizens with 4.0 GPAs. A white boy just shot Charlie Kirk. There's another point where he's lying. All they do is lie.
Got his flaws, and people have been complaining about that for years. We spend more time trying to fix that than trying to complain about the white versus black of it all.
Well, I think, just like I was trying to listen to all communities last time, I think this is something that's unavoidable. If this community, if enough white people get pissed off, they're going, look, we're living in New York now, we're getting killed in record numbers.
What he's trying to say is, man, look, man, I don't know, but we're going to start killing black people. White people are getting fed up. What does it mean that white people are getting fed up? What does that mean? White people are fed up? Oh, what they going to do, lynch us like they did? They're going to lynch us, kill my mother in front of me. That's what they're going to do. They're going to eat me now. They're going to eat me. They're going to throw my kids for gator bait. They're going to lynch me on a tree. They're going to kill my child. That's what white people going to do when they mad. They did it when black people loved them.
Or Detroit, 12 times the rate. And our system, 3 strikes in California, right? That was a 3-strike policy. The reason that was changed, it said it was racist. Crime went down in black communities 30%. But now people are looking at their cities going, this is a fucking hellscape. And the murder is skyrocketed because people said in the name of racial justice, like 3 felonies, you're out.
Because crime is crime, right? But crime is usually going to be higher concentrated in areas where there's high poverty. So typically the areas that's high poverty in this country are areas with people with this color skin. So that's why you're going to have that. That's why I said those numbers could be skewed and made to manipulate to look like, oh, yeah, that's why I said in
not at 12 times the rate.
In suburban neighborhoods, white people are not in danger. And that's what this kind of fear mongering tells them is that you're in danger because you're 12 times more likely to get killed by a black person.
It's a lie.
You live in fucking ain't nobody coming after you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody tripping on you. But these people just as scared as the other folks that
They are if they get on a bus.
Not necessarily.
White people are in danger if they get on a bus. Let me tell you something when black people are in danger. Black people are in danger when they go grocery shopping. When they go buy groceries. They might just die in a grocery store that's predominantly black. In a black neighborhood, a white man might just travel to a black community just to kill them. They might travel to a black community just to blow it up. Black people might be in danger when they go to church, a black church. Should black people have white fatigue? Let's keep going.
They are if they get on a train.
That lady wasn't in danger because that man was black. That lady was in danger because that man was crazy.
Nope.
That man was mentally insane.
But why was he back in the
family?
He said no. He said she died because he was black. That man had mental health, which makes you think what? That's what white people think of black people. Black people are not humans to white people, meaning that they can't be like, damn, man, this man was sick. How come us being the greatest nation to ever live couldn't get this man the help that he need? How come this man couldn't have help that he need? Instead of criticizing his system of health care, oh, I understand that black people can't get universal health care. They voted against it because black people would get it. No, he killed her because that's what black people do. If a black man kills a white woman, it makes you think that's what black people do. Again, I always want you to say this. What should I think of white people who's responsible of killing millions? Innocent people. I'm not talking about people they're going to war with. I'm talking about people who serve them. People who welcomed them with open arms. They slaughtered and murdered them. People who fought for them. People who died for them. They killed. So what should we have? What? Please let me know. Am I right? Like he said earlier, they justified in having black fatigue. Am I right now for having white fatigue? Am I justified? Please let me know. I understand it. You know what? You might be right. I might just gotta take one out your playbook, man. Let's keep going.
He had his own family members call the hospital to try to get him committed. He told his sister he killed that woman because he thought she was trying to read his mind.
Yep.
That's
Why was he let out, though?
That ain't
And I'm not saying it's because he's black.
Yeah,
I'm saying people look at it, though. The judge said
part of black fatigue.
he's insane, right? We agree.
That's not a black and white issue.
He was deemed not fit to stand trial, right?
Right.
Now,
He should
the
have been
IOU
institutionalized.
Right. The IOU policy, meaning you don't have to pay bail. You don't even have to stay here until you're actually convicted. You just say you'll come back.
Right, which is messed up.
Yeah, the judge, Teresa Stokes, black woman, said, well, this is about racial justice. We need to be softer on crime. So that's her reasoning. That's why he was out. And you can find dozens of examples.
That's her misguided reasoning.
And that's policy.
But that's systemic, though, right?
That's not representative of a whole.
It's not. It's not. No, and look, we always have to say not all.
Right.
Like, not all white people wear MAGA hats and are dumbass pieces of racist shit. But we have all.
He's definitely racist. Like, I don't know why people think racist people are the ones in the KKK, in the trailer park homes, who wear pointy hats. Those are low-tier racist people. Those are racist people that we don't even give a damn about. Racist people are people who are able to change black people's lives and Hispanic people's lives behind the desk, in an office chair. People like him. All his talking points are just meant to hurt black people and hide it, and he hides it behind, I can't even say logic, it's a lie. It's like, you can't even say, well, we're taking your argument hypothetically. I can't even say that because it's a lie.
All been accused of racism, sexism, misogyny, homophobia. What I'm saying is black fatigue is white people going, you know what? I know I'm not racist. And I know that we're dealing with record crime, and I know that I'm more at risk. And they have negative interactions, and they're constantly told that they're not allowed to voice their fucking opinion because they're white. And if those people get pissed off, like, that's where we actually could end up with some kind of, I'm telling you, I see this brewing. I see people who were milquetoast white suburban who are becoming actually racist. Now,
boom. He's saying white people are becoming racist because black people. This shows that black people are better than white people. 400 years of oppression and black people still don't have white fatigue. And white people have black fatigue from black people living in a condition that they put them in. And what makes it even worse is that black people today that they don't like are just like them. You know why black people commit crime? Black people commit crime because they are Americans. That's how to succeed. White people are mad at black people because they found out the game. They look at the Irish, they look at the Italians, they look at Jewish people come to America and form gangs and be violent and be criminals, and watch America put them on a pedestal. Watch America give them programs while oppressing another people. So you're mad at black people for what? Being white? That's the black people you hate. You hate the black people who are acting white. Let me tell you something, man. I don't understand it. I watched the CIA, by the hands of Ronald Reagan, the president of the United States, fund drugs in the black community. That's a fact. People still want to work for the CIA while they seen them put drugs, crack, cocaine, and black neighborhoods to save them from Russia. And you want to talk about black fatigue? Stop being a victim. Stop complaining. This system ain't racist. White people are not in danger in America. Stop being a victim.
Now, not all of them, but I've seen people actually become racist because they get mugged, their store gets looted, and nothing gets done. They're going, and if I say,
what? I must be living in like an alternate universe. He just explained things that happen to black people, and he has black fatigue because black people are voicing their opinion on how that happened, and they never got no benefit from it. Now he's saying white people are victims for going through something that black people went through, and that's what's making them racist. White people were racist before that happened to them. White people never needed an excuse to be racist. Can somebody please help me out if you understanding what I'm trying to say? White people did that to black people. What was their reason? Now he's saying that white people gonna have a reason to be racist now? What was the reason when you did it before? I'm trying to tell you. It's gonna get, let me tell you something. White people better bend down on their knees and thank God that black people are better than them. White people in 2025 who conquered the world, who has everything. If they sneeze, a police officer's there to rescue them. If a white woman says a black boy whistled at them, they will kill that boy. They will kill him. They will own hospitals, own colleges, and then apply to a school that's 90% white. Do not get it and blame black people. And you want to tell me that you have black fatigue? That you're a victim? Please.
To start with, there would be no need for the reform or the feelings that you don't be deemed as that. What's that feel? Words for it or terms for it. So now you have a frustrated group of white constituents that feel like, oh, we can't say anything. We have to do this. We have to do that so you don't be deemed as that. Well, if you wasn't that in the beginning to start with, there would be no need for the reform or the feelings that you have. You can't say.
The brother making an excellent point. He's saying that you're mad about systems that you put in place to combat what the system was. Like the fact that there was laws placed to combat things like this show how evil America, I would say how evil they were, but they are. How evil America is. If you had to have passed laws to make sure that a white man actually will hire somebody, that tells you about America. Let me tell you something. And they're so busy talking about DEI. There was laws passed during Jim Crow that was insane. I can't even get to start naming them all. Y'all should just do your research about the laws that black people cannot do during Jim Crow. And it was normal. It was normal. Now white people are mad about DEI. DEI was put in place to combat evil white men from not trying to hire black men, which I understand it now. The reason why white people say DEI is reverse racism is because they're letting you know that they're evil. If a law was put in place to combat evil men and you look at that law and be like, this reverse racism, you're that evil man.
Say anything about because you done treated us like for so long and people finally stood up and said, hey, you got to stop treating us like now that you want to feel like, things aren't going in the manner that you want them. Now we want the right to keep saying those things.
What if your premise is completely flawed? And what I mean by that is if we're trying to understand it, you said you have power in all those institutions.
Yes.
What if, for example, you have an entire generation of people, young white men, women, who if they apply to a college or apply to a job, they don't.
And before he says this point, I want to say something real quick. He says, what if you're wrong? Meaning that he's creating now a fake scenario, but people is not going, whatever point he's going to say to this is going to be based off a lie. This is what you should not do. Do not let white people give you well, hypothetically, if this is, no, it's not. You're the devil. You're the devil. Hypothetically, no, it's history. Black people wanted jobs. That's what they was arguing about. And you didn't give them jobs. And you saying, what if you're wrong? Nigga, I'm not.
Understand it. You said you have power in all those institutions.
Yes.
What if, for example, you have an entire generation of people, young white men, women, who if they apply to a college or apply to a job, they don't have a grant, there's no Pell Grant, there's no type of subsidy, there's no DEI initiative. As a matter of fact, they're likely to be passed over. They hold no institutional power. And when you say black people haven't done anything,
that is a damn lie. White people, he's saying that white people have it harder now. That's a damn lie. If a school is 80% white, and you white boy listening to this, and you do, Hold on, let me back up. I want y'all to understand I want y'all to understand this clearly. Listen, you white out there, listen to me. If you apply to a school and the school is 80% white and you do not get accepted into the school, it is not black people's fault. It is not because of DEI. It's because you're not good enough. You're below average. 80% of the school being white is because of the other white men being average. The other white boys and girls being average. You couldn't go to the school because you couldn't be average. You was below average. You failed in a system that was designed for you. It's not black people's fault that you can apply yourself. Good night. And we talking about advantages. Legacy admissions. And we talking about advantages. Most admission spots, faculty, donors, and legacy connections are overwhelmingly white. They favor white students. And guess how much these minority scholarships in this aid for DEI, guess how much it makes up? It makes up less than 5% of total aid. White people are mad about something that takes up less than 5%. Less than 5%. You be like, God damn, at least somebody could get 5% after what all you did to them. Nah. Can't have that. We already made it good for average white men to be successful in life. What about the below average white men now? Yeah, we gotta do something with that 5%. Less than 5% of private scholarship are race restricted. His point is that I'm white. I can't get no grant because I'm white. Ain't no white grant for only white people. As if 90% of grants out there are for black people. Less than 5% of grants are race restricted. That means what? More than 95 are not. And even that, they count for a smaller percentage, a smaller fraction of total college aid, which means what? White students receive majority of aid in college, majority of all scholarship money. And he's saying that white people are not. Why lie? Why lie? Because they need a reason to hurt black people. They need a reason. They need a reason to make their white children hate black people just like their grandfather did. Hey, look, man, son, you did not get into school. Don't never think you got into school because you wasn't good enough. You didn't get into school because you was white. Yeah, son, we're being attacked. Black people are taking all the jobs. They're taking all the scholarships. You didn't get accepted at school, son, because you was white. White boys are being attacked. It's not because you wasn't good enough, son. Your damn son has a 1.5 GPA. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They got me hot, chat. They got me hot, chat.
Anything, when you think of this white person, a young white person, because I'm seeing some people become radicalized and it can become a problem. Yeah. And then they see billions of dollars and riots and damages all summer long, and then they go, why is this happening? Black Lives Matter, right?
That's happening because of white people. It's a damn lie. Everybody know those riots were not done by black people. Those riots were done by masked white people. How in the hell you in the hood on the protest and you have just brick just end up in the middle of the protest? Like people didn't just drop them there.
That supposedly they're racist, get the shit kicked out of them. And they're being blamed for something that supposedly their racist forefather did that they have nothing to do with. You think
supposedly their racist forefather, white people, in light of trying to make black people have accountability, they have no accountability. They have no accountability of their own families' crimes. And black people are supposed to have accountability of their family crime? I think that white people should honor black people for taking a play out of their playbook. Are you kidding me? White people, I understand, especially white men, make me feel bad for white women. I start to understand what white women have to go through living with men like this. White men will grape a white woman, and say, why does she wear that small skirt? She should have wanted it. She talked to me all day. She laughed at my jokes. She wanted it. And you saying I raped you? I didn't do that. Have some accountability for your action. Charlie Kirk thought the same thing. He said it's a gray area. I don't know, it's a gray area. White men don't believe no means no. They have no accountability. None at all.
we're ever going to have unity, this is the problem. Unity, his forefather did that they have, and they're being blamed for something that supposedly their racist forefather did that they have nothing to do with. You think
are hip? You white people are making me sick. Is that supposed to be some type of good point? I would love to sit here and be like, you know what? People shouldn't pay for what their grandfathers did or their ancestors. Then I see that's un-American to think like that. America always punish people for what somebody did in their nation. They drop bombs in other countries for what one single terrorist did. They were white mobs, killed black communities destroyed black communities for what 2 black men did, allegedly. And they lied about it. They lied about what a black man did. And because of that black man's actions, it made them kill an entire community. So when you say it's not right that white children should pay for the crimes of their ancestors, you're un-American. That's not the American way. Oh, so you only could be the aggressor? You're the only people who can make other people pay for their ancestors, but somebody can't make your children pay for their ancestors? I understand that. Black people are American too. They are American too. It'd be wrong for them not to partake in such things like that. That ideology is an American ideology. How dare them not do it? It would be wrong for black people not to blame young white boys and girls for what their great-great-granddaddy did, because I see America do it today. They will drop bombs on other countries for what other people great-great-granddaddies do. They're supporting Israel. Israel is committing genocide to those Palestinians who not even the Palestinians who they're saying took their land. Israel said this land belongs to us. And they're killing kids. And America's giving them billions of dollars. Y'all can miss me with all that shit.
This is the problem. Unity, if let's say your dad's a or your grandfather's a and you walk up and you slap his teenager, you now have made that person hate you for life. And that's what I'm seeing with not even my generation. Younger people are going, I had nothing to do with this shit. They came up during the riots.
And if he's saying that would make somebody hate a black person, what you think, what white people, this is all my question for you white. I'm going to give you a scenario that's very, very, if you're poor today because somebody stole from your granddaddy and you meet the descendant of the man who stole from your granddaddy, and while you eating out a trash can, you see him living in Beverly Hills, have a rich life for what belonged to your grandfather that would have went down to you. My question for you white people is, what should you do about that? What would be the right thing to do? Please let me know that.
They've come up under DEI, and they're seeing a 12-time murder rate, skyrocketing crime, and any proposals they make not holding institutional power shut down as racist.
Now, why was
like I said, I'm going to say it again. It's my 6th time saying it. That's a lie. If he's talking about crime amongst other groups, nobody ever committed more crime than white people. White people have America for being violent. White people precisely are mad at black people for being white. Let me tell you something. Black people are not out to get you. I know your father told you that to give you a reason to blame all your failures on somebody else. I know your father told you that right when he caught you about to commit suicide for having a, low self-esteem. He made you better by blaming all your issues on black men. The reason he probably beat your mom was because of black men, huh? The reason why you didn't go into school was because of black men, huh? Probably got bullied in school. The reason why you can't fight is because of black men. I bet all your issues is because of black men, right? Let me tell you something. Black men are not out to get you. Let me tell you something, you white people, to save your lives. The most dangerous place for you is by yourself. White people are dealing with a pandemic, right? The damn pandemic right now. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's suicide. And you white people, you want to survive, just don't be alone. And for the life of me, damn it, white people are oppressed. I take everything I said back to you white people. I actually feel sorry for y'all. White people, you're in danger when you're by yourself. You're also in danger when you go near other white people. Nobody ever killed more white people than white people. But if you go by yourself, if you live by yourself, you might just off yourself. White people do have it hard. I take everything back, man. I just would like to know who's responsible for all this. Who's responsible for all of it? Damn. Let me tell you something. I beg all you white men, don't make the same mistake Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk died at a college by the hands of a white man. I'm trying to save you white people's lives, man. I really are.
DEI even instituted in the first place, because for the majority of time that black people have been in this country and been free, we've been denied so much. Somebody somewhere had to put some things in place to provide access of some kind.
If you believe that, that's fine, but you can't tell that young white kid who had nothing to do with it that he should just sit down and take it, especially when they're getting killed.
That's what.
See that? Let me tell you something. The reason why white people killed, the reason why white people murdered and stole from black Hispanics and Native is to get to this point right now. Those white men asset are those children today. So when you say they have nothing to do with it, these children today, these white children today is why my grandfather had to die. That's who they did it for. Those founding fathers, those men who had black people in slavery, those men who lynched black people, who put drugs in black neighborhoods, who burned crosses on their yards, who denied them of loans, red line, denied them a GI Bill, forced them to fight next to their enemy. Imagine going to fight for some white man and his freedom, and you go back home, he call you some nigger. Your granddaddy did that for you. If it wasn't for you, he would never did it. So you are responsible for your great granddaddy crimes because he did for you. And you sit there and say, do I have to take it? White people can't get enough. Can't get enough. You would think a place where white people are dominating in every single thing, and all jobs are predominantly white. High power jobs are white. 77% of Congress is white. 90% of the governors are white. 80% of the federal judges are white. 90% of Fortune 500 CEOs are white. The top 10 U.S. banks, the CEOs are all white. White households control over 80% of all wealth. College presidents, over 80% are white. Over 70% of college professors are white. All major news networks are white. The biggest tech companies are run by white people. And 70% of Ivy League schools are white, and 43% of those students, legacy admission, their parents donated money or some type of weird athlete like lacrosse. Now, if all of these exist, how in the hell can that white boy not get a job because he's white? You have a victim mentality. You white people, you disappoint me.
What America's been telling us for the longest.
The young white man
that
has to
Not in my lifetime.
DEI, the young person of this generation that you said that feels they're misled by the being mistreated by the DEI.
I'm just using it as an example. They don't hold any institutional power. Young white people don't. They don't have an advantage.
Not yet, because they're young white people. They haven't advanced to where they're middle-aged white people, where the power comes. See, what black people, once again, when you got colleges that denied access to black people, you can't come here. Something had to be put in place where, look, y'all got to let some black people come in. Y'all can't just
That started happening long before DEI.
But see,
Long before black people were admitted into colleges, HBCUs.
Hold on, let me say what I'm trying to say.
My bad. My bad, I'm trying to make it clear.
He's trying to do a senior Wences and talk through you.
Because you trying to
I get it.
DEI is just a new way of wrapping affirmative action.
Yeah.
Affirmative action had to be put in place because there's just still if all things are supposed to be laid out equal. No, you shouldn't get, if you don't have it.
That's what's
what
happening.
it takes to get in. No, but
It is happening, and I'm telling you, young white dudes are pissed. I'm telling you,
takes are supposed to be laid out. If
he get in.
Access.
If a black person has lower SATs, right, and lower GPA, should he get in over an Asian or a white person?
Let me ask you.
Yes. You white people don't understand nothing. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. You know, black people have lower test scores than white and Asians, and it's about like 1 or 2 questions per section. That's where black people are behind. And you like, well, why they will go to the school? Why would you take a white boy who has a good GPA and a higher SAT score? His higher SAT score is because of probably 2 or 3 questions he got correct more than that black guy. Now here's the thing. That black kid grew up in poverty in a bad school they didn't probably even have computers. That's what's factored in. It's factored in that this black man or this black kid who never had nothing this white kid did scored almost the same exact score than this white kid who went to prep school, who had the best schools, who had private test prep, who had all of this. Tutors, every single thing, and he only get 2 or 3 more questions correct than this black kid who grew up in public school, who was in poverty, who had no tutors, who had no private test prep. Yeah, he's getting accepted because he is better than you. He did more with less. It makes sense. And why are you white people even worried about test scores? You do not get accepted because of your test scores. You white people are in schools because of what your parents did. They said, how come can you punish somebody for what their ancestors did? Your ancestors, your parents is the reason why you're in college. You white people think you're in Ivy League schools because you're good enough. No, you're in Ivy League schools because your parents bought your way in. They donated money. You had legacy admissions, donor ties. That's how you got into college. So when you say, should a black boy go into college when a white boy or Asian girl, whatever, with higher test score by what? 3 questions when they grow up with rich parents in a good neighborhood, a private school, they all had iPads they get to bring home. Private tutors, all this they could have did. All this they had. Oh yes, because he's better than him. He competes with these white boys who grew up in a school system where he had everything he ever needed to succeed. Just imagine what this black kid could do with the exact same opportunity. He would dominate that boy.
In the car, they put him in the car, asked for air conditioning, gave him air conditioning, asked to be taken out of the car, they took him out of the car. He wouldn't stop moving. People have watched it now and go, you know what? It's not what I thought it was. You know how many times he was arrested before that? 9. He shouldn't have been. You know what would have saved him? 3-strike policy. He robbed a woman at gunpoint with a child in the house. And so white people look at it, young white people, right, who you have to understand during COVID, this is a whole generation of people. White people did not have any fucking opportunities during.
I think they're talking about George Floyd. Let me tell you something. You white people amazing. I thought you were supposed to be a damn Christian. I thought Jesus Christ went to go and free the captives. I thought that's where his gospel was preached. And you're telling me because of what George Floyd did in his past from being a sinner, don't we all fall short from the glory of God? That's what these white Christians told me. We all fall short. Forgive your enemies. George Floyd do this. He dies, but his death is justified because of his criminal past. I thought Jesus Christ died for our sins. I thought a second chance is owed to everybody. However, I understand it now. It's not allowed for black people. White people get second chances, third chances, fourth chances when it's the other way around. He think this boy should have been living underneath the prison. Let me tell you something. If you have that train of thought, I have the exact same way. I believe people who have a track record committing crime should be locked up underneath jail. It's just so happened that white people has the biggest track record of all. I'm gonna help y'all out. If white people want to make America a better place, just start locking up more white people. Yeah, I said it's not racism, it's pattern recognition. Well, I have pattern recognition too with white people. I'm not racist. I can't be racist. I'm an American. Just lock more white people up. Surely not because of the color of their skin, because of the content of their character.
During COVID, they didn't get to go to the graduation. College, black, white, all of them, right? It's a generation that's pissed. Rightfully so, they got screwed. I think we can agree on that. They're going, I watched my city burn down for a guy who was arrested 9 times and committed violent crimes against women. What?
Now, you know, let me say
that's a travesty of justice. He shouldn't be out in public.
Let me say this.
How many felonies does
Let me tell you something. Black people did not destroy the city. If you're living in 2025 and still believe that black people was responsible for destroying the city during the George Floyd protest, you're a damn lie. White people were responsible. How in the hell you get bricks in the middle of a protest? White people did what they always did. You know what happened during the Boston Tea Party? The Boston Tea Party, those men poured that tea out into the harbor, but they dressed up as Native Indians. That's what they did. They're always blaming things on black people. Why? They're going to blame the thing on the thing that people hate.
Black, white, all of them, right? It's a generation that's pissed. Rightfully so, they got screwed. I think we can agree on that. They're going, I watched my city burn down for a guy who was arrested 9 times and committed violent crimes against women.
Black people did not burn down the city. If you're in 2025 saying that, you are a complete idiot. You know who burned down the city? White people burned down the city. That's a fact. White mass vigilantes went and go burn down the cities during the George Floyd protest, which they made into a riot because white people love rioting and protesting violently. I'm gonna give you a history lesson because this is not racial. It's pattern recognition. During the Boston Tea Party, which is an American value to destroy property, the Boston Tea Party, I had to learn in history. These white colonists dumped tea into the harbor. And guess how they was dressed as? Native Indians. Why would they though? They was trying to blame it on a people that everybody hates. Just like these George Floyd protests, white people went to go and throw rocks and throw bricks and burn neighborhoods down and blame it on black people. Why? Everybody hates black people. And you white people amaze me. And this is going to further prove that I know that black people was not responsible for all the destruction of property during those protests. I'm gonna give you a couple of protests that happened. Remember, his point is that, damn, my study had to burn down because of this simple man who's a 9-time felon and did all this crime? That's ridiculous, man. I'm upset. I'm gonna give you 3 protests by the hands of white people that destroyed their property. Here's one. The 1984 Detroit Tigers World Series win. These white fans flipped cars, looted stores, and set fires and injured 80 people, and 1 died and had $80 million in damage. And guess what they said? It was just a rowdy celebration. 80 people had to get injured, and that man had to lose his life because of a sports game? A sports game. $80 million in damage because of a sports game? You white people, this is your culture. I'll give you another. The Boston Red Sox World Series win. They did the exact same thing. They lit fires, tipped cars, and threw bottles at police officers. And a college student was killed. They were trying to harm a police officer and kill a college student. And I know y'all thinking, how come I didn't say the big one? January 6th? Because everybody know January 6th. Everybody knows about it. I'm starting to feel bad for these white people who's being affected by other white people. Because you know what happened after January 6th? Police officers committed suicide because they was there trying to defend the Capitol while Donald Trump said, man, I appreciate these patriots. They never was applauded for their sacrifice, but these men did. These people who was rioting and destroying Capitol building. Damn, the Capitol building got to get destroyed because a man lost?
Now, you know, let me say
That's a travesty of justice. He shouldn't be out in public.
Let me say this to you.
How many felonies does President Trump have on his record? Yet he was still allowed to occupy the most.
No criminal felonies.
He has no.
That's a damn lie. Trump has 34 counts of a Class E felony. It's a criminal offense. Every felony is criminal by definition, you dummy. And let me give you something up for y'all Trump supporters, your damn pedophiles out there. I'm gonna tell you what's not a felony. Illegal immigration. It's a damn misdemeanor. Crossing the border illegally, it's not a felony, it's a misdemeanor. And guess what is the reason for a lot of undocumented immigrants? It's from overstaying a visa, which is how most undocumented people are here. For overstaying a visa. It's not even a crime, it's civil. That's why they go to immigration court and not criminal court, you dummy. Trump felonies don't count, but immigrants, they broke the law, they're criminals. Y'all
criminal felonies, but he's got moral felonies, which would, if there was a court of justice for that, he probably would be tried a long time ago. I mean, let's talk about it.
Is this where we all get on board with crazy white bitches who accuse women of rape?
No,
white men are evil. I'm starting to feel bad for you white women. He's saying that this white woman lied on Trump. He's saying this white woman lied on Donald Trump. Trump went to civil court behind this and they convicted him. They did find him guilty for sexual assault by 2 juries. Your court system, your justice system that you love so much, that you say that we need to punish criminals even harder. He just got done saying that criminals need to be in jail longer and need to be in jail with harsher sentences, worse treatment, then people will be safe. Lock Donald Trump up to make it safe for white women. He was convicted twice by 2 juries. 2 juries for sexually assaulting this woman. And you're saying that she was lying? Don't he understand that if he's going to take that view, then I could say that black men who go to jail, that black men they are arresting, they lied on them. They lied on them. I don't think no black man going to jail is guilty then if surely he could sit here and say that 2 juries was wrong, that white woman was lying. No swear, make it easier for me. You black men out there, they saying that you committed a crime, they lied on them. They lied.
She accused 26 men of rape, that crazy.
He said she accused 26 men of rape, making it as if 26 men raped her. No, what she did was interview and publish other stories about women who experienced sexual assault, 20 other women, because it's common amongst white women from white men. That's why it was so much of. She's not crazy. However, Donald Trump, you know who they brung up in that case, in that trial? You know who they brung up in that trial? 2 women testified on Trump that he assaulted them in a similar way. They showed a pattern of behavior from this man. Don't you believe that criminals should be locked up? Why is Donald Trump out on the streets? He sexually assaulted, as much as we know, at least 3 women. When are you going to stop? When it's his fifth, his 6th, his 7th? When it's your wife? That's when you're going to stop. You white people will never understand until Donald Trump is going to come after your woman. He already got Charlie Kirk's. Donald Trump already got Charlie Kirk's wife. He's coming for yours next.
And when you look at the convergence of this new agenda where you're going strictly in the blue cities, why is it that most of those blue cities also happen to be occupied, the areas they're going in are heavily occupied by minorities? Why is that so?
Well, because black people tend to vote Democrat, and they're run by Democrats. Detroit, you can look at Chicago. Is that what you mean?
I mean, no, that's not what I'm asking you at all. What I'm asking you is, like I said, with this all-out assault right now, just last night they were talking about something in Chicago, right? But 1 o'clock in the morning, you had people in military gear, what have you, helicopters and all this kind of stuff like this here, not just knocking doors down, but dragging people out.
Because it's the murder capital of the country. You just said black people are more harmed by this. We don't want to take out murderers?
No. I think really what true is you confusing what.
You don't think black people want to get rid of all the gang bangers in their neighborhood? The problem is, you come in black neighborhoods and you don't get rid of the gang bangers. You make them. You make gang bangers. And you kill the innocent people. You kill the children. Why in the hell you think some white man knows the difference between a gang banger and an ordinary black man? No, they all are niggas to them. History proved that. Today proved that. Killings of children. Tamir Rice prove that. And you want to talk about why there's gangs in Chicago? How about we ask Al Capone why there's gangs in Chicago? And I'm going to put you on a history lesson. Right during the time, during the time of the civil rights movement, crime was crazy in Chicago from white gangs. People was murdering people in the street. White gang members was murdering people in the street. Crime was horrific during that time, led by white gangs. The same white gangs all y'all watch movies about and want to be like. However, you know what was going on at that time? Black people fighting for their soul, to be human, for civil rights. And guess what happened? Guess what was the biggest threat to America? The biggest domestic threat, the CIA said, which is why they had COINTELPRO. The rise of a black messiah. The rise of a black messiah. While crime was crazy in Chicago from white gang, they said the biggest threat, the biggest domestic threat is the rise of a black messiah. America don't give a damn about crime. They give a damn about black people trying to get free. And the only way black people know how to do that is to do what everybody else got freedom as, and that was committing crime. Every white ethnic group in America is successful today because they committed crime to another people. However, you better be glad that men like me teach black people, Hispanics, and natives to be better than white people. We won't commit crime like you commit crime no more. We won't murder like you murder. We won't do those things, but please just leave us alone in the process. Please, while we try to be what you say we need to be, you say we need to follow the law, just leave the damn drugs out the neighborhood. Tell Ronald Reagan stop selling drugs in the neighborhood. Please, can we get that at least?
The biggest threat is not going to come from blacks. The biggest threat is coming from within. You look at the average person that's been committing some of the most heinous crimes over the days, it's 22 to 29-year-old white males, right? Look at how ready they were.
It's just not true, man. Violent crime, you just said, like you said, a small percentage of the country, about 12 to 13%, 50% of the violent crime, but the murder,
that's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. Let me say something. That statistic shows how racist America is. Though that statistic, to even say it is insane because it's not even convictions, it's arrest. But Donald Trump was convicted of sexual assault. But you said that bitch was lying out his own mouth. Out his own mouth. That crazy bitch was lying. Those black men who are being arrested for crime, those police officers, wait, let me use the same verbiage. Those bitches were lying. I can't say that now. You said that the woman who said Donald Trump sexually assaulted her was lying bitch. He was convicted. This statistic is only arrest. I can't say those cops are lying bitches now. Oh, when black people do it, you trust the system. When they arrested, you trust the system now. However, with Trump, the system's guilty. I'm gonna tell you what's the biggest death problem in America. It's not homicides. It's not homicides. That deals with violent crime, what you'll say violence, is white people killing themselves. That's white America's biggest violence, is white men putting Glock 19s and 1911s in their mouth. That's where majority of gun violence come from. That's where majority of violent deaths come from. It comes from white people doing it to themselves. There's no better killer than them. They done kill black and Latinos and natives so much by the millions. They have no more people left to kill. They have to kill themselves. It's a problem. Your white people better get help.
12 times likelihood.
That's a skewed stat.
If you just, so you don't listen to them?
No, I said that particular stat is skewed.
It's not.
I'm going to say it again. That's a lie. Y'all heard what he said. Black people are 3 times more likely to get killed by a white man and vice versa. That's a fact.
Not skewed. These are from the FBI, DOJ. And you know what else we look at? We look at Roland Fryer from Harvard, who conducted it, black professor, really respectable guy, honorable man, conducted a study, and he came out and he said, yeah, all of my research says that black men are 0% more likely to be shot by police officers than whites. Black people got so mad at him, he reconducted the study, a black man from Harvard, and he came to the same conclusion, and now he's not black enough.
That is a damn lie. First, black people getting shot by police officers is not the only way black people are getting oppressed by police officers. Black people are getting stopped and frisked at a 3 times rate than white people when you're more likely to catch a white person with something illegal. So it ain't about stopping crime. What odds are that? If I stop and frisk black people, black and brown people, 3 times the rate than white people, but white people are more likely to be found with something illegal, then it's never about crime. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. The study he's talking about, the reason why people criticized it, because it was selected bias. So there was a recent study that showed that black people in America are 3 times more than likely to die by a police officer than white Americans. A more recent study. you can't even really get down to really get in your bag to really, really destroy white people's arguments because they all are built off of lies. It's like, I don't have to say nothing. All I gotta do is fact check it. That's it. Just fact check they lies.